Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. 2 days ago, the Star had a very big headline highlighting what, according to them, were members of Deputy President William Ruto's cabinet. And media has something called agenda setting role. They set the agenda for the discussion of the day. And when I saw that headline, people were really talking about it, asking questions. Why the media has been running the headlines of cabinet meetings, or rather the cabinet membership of Kenya Kwanza, Raila Odinga's cabinet. Such kind of headlines sometimes are just captured to sell the newspaper. However, if you do a critical analysis, you will understand that political parties are normally behind those headlines. Why am I talking about that? In Kenya Kwanza or Azimio la Umoja, both camps are struggling with competitive interests. The leaders who support either camp, and they are going against the grain. For example, the leaders in Mount Kenya that work with Raila Odinga and Azimio la Umoja have always believed that to some extent they are going against the UDA grain in central Kenya, or rather against the UDA wave in central Kenya, and they have to do an extra effort for them to stand firm around Raila Odinga. But this is not isolated thing. Because even if you look at the other camp, they are leaders that stand with William Ruto, and they are honestly against the grain. That is just one bit of it. And so what happens is, such kind of headlines are normally read, or rather such kind of articles are normally published for the sake of quelling a rebellion, or rather to show the way the parties will be very accommodative. And I know this has been silent, many people have not been following this, but there is a storm coming in the next 2 days. IBC is supposed to receive nomination list from political parties, the members that are going to be nominated in the National Assembly by political parties, in the county assemblies, and EALA. Actually, the list is supposed to be taken before the elections. I don't think the EALA goes before, because EALA is normally approved by the National Assembly, so EALA is not in that list. So according to, there is a regulation, there is a timeline by IBC that by 25th June, all the political parties must submit the names of people that they are going to nominate. And if you ask me, I have always analyzed here that Ketu Aruguru is not in the campaign trail. She is simply waiting whether UDA is going to list her name. Believe me, from Sunday, people who maybe were promised slots, nomination slots, are going to stage a rebellion, either on the side of Azimio or Kenya Kwanza. And to be specific, let's just say UDA. If you don't know, Jaguar was promised a nomination in EALA, and that is why you see it's very strong leader behind Rigathi Gachagua. So this is happening, even though it is such a tragedy. The affirmative posts were just to help bring someone to a parliament, maybe someone who has a capacity or some competence in an area. But because they cannot come through the electoral process, they are actually they are nominated by members of parliament, by the political parties, to represent different interest groups, the youth, the elderly, and so. And so, if you remember the story around Oduor Odinga representing the youth, that was just on that affirmative action posts, and also to achieve the 2/3 gender rule among the women. So parties are normally encouraged to nominate many women. The headline that the Standard was running was a headline, "If you can challenge me, but that headline had a blessings of Deputy President William Ruto, presidential strategist. You might ask why, but this is something that is coming out because of internal rebellion that is coming out here. And in this video, I will show you 5 camps that if you make your own observations, you will see the lines being drawn. And look at what's happening in Mount Kenya, Kabogo, Moses Kuria, Ketu Ruguru, Kithure Kindiki. Try to look at what's happening at the coast. Look at the squabbles in western side. And you can see there is a lot of frictions every now and then. So what are these 5 camps? I want us to look deeply and see. I want you to see why that headline was done as part of a strategy to William Ruto to show how he can be accommodative, or how his leadership is going to be accommodative. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also support our channel. Sometimes I normally say if you like a video, that's how you help to promote the rating of a YouTube channel. That is how, by the way, that's how it works. So I want you to ask yourself, and I want to give you camp 1. The first camp are victims of nomination fallout, or rather victims of what they called shrouded nomination. The victims of that, some of them were big names: Ketu Ruguru, Mwaura, and Kithure Kindiki. The person that is leading that team is actually Kithure Kindiki. This team are people who, before the nomination, they were holding high profile positions. Kithure Kindiki was holding high profile position and was told he was going to be, I remember Ruto going to Tharaka Nithi and saying that ninyi mnipatie Kindiki mimi niende na yeye huko juu. And he asked Kindiki not to go and defend that Senate seat. Honestly, if Murkomen is defending a seat, why won't Kindiki even still defend the Senate seat? I kept on wondering why that happened. So, that camp really believes that Deputy President should accommodate them whatever means. And so, someone like Mwaura has been depending on nominations one after the other. He was first nominated by ODM, worked in the office of the Prime Minister. Actually, he was brought in the political fold by Raila Odinga. So sometimes if you see him shouting out there, you just see how politicians are so ungrateful. Then he was also nominated by Jubilee Party, I think twice if I'm not wrong, 2013 and 2017. Then now he's also again around Deputy President, perhaps to get a nomination because of that. And he's never won an elective seat. Someone should know that the affirmative action posts are normally given so that at least it gives you a head start. You should not be nominated twice. Look at Gladys Wanga. These are people that have grown through the ranks. You should not be nominated twice, honestly. That is how it starts. So that's why even Ketu Ruguru, she was nominated in the county assembly. She became a women rep. She had to try her hand. Mwaura tried, I think things did not fall out. This team is already having their own WhatsApp group, staging their own rebellion. And that is one of the camps that William Ruto is addressing. So if you look at that, you will see also here Muturi. Muturi is not an effect from a fallout, but is also a politician in that fold. They're also the kind that wait, they're not seeking any elective post. Maybe they just brought in their parties and they have an interest. The second camp is the camp that are going against the grain. Very interesting. If you saw that headline, there was Omar Hassan. In Mombasa, Omar Hassan is in UDA going against the ODM wave. In Kilifi, Aisha Jumwa is in UDA going against the UDA wave. Now, these are politicians that are in highly competitive areas. Even someone like Owalo. Owalo is around Deputy President. He's not vying for any seat, but is just there for optics, to at least to have the face of Nyanza. I think it's Owalo and Obado. They're going against the ODM grave. Look at Mutua. Alfred Mutua in Machakos, honestly, there is no way he can upstage Kalonzo Musyoka. Look at Nelson Havi and Amason Kingi. This is the other camp that are in highly competitive areas to Azimio. So their effect in the larger, in what William Ruto might receive in terms of a presidential vote, their effect is less consequential. And because they already know that if I was in Azimio, honestly, if Aisha Juma was a governor candidate through ODM in Kilifi, he stands the highest chance. Someone like Hassan Omar, if he was through ODM or any other party in Azimio, he stood the highest chance. But because they stick and they know it's not that easy, William Ruto owes them some sort of favor. This is part of the team that also is to be accommodated. I want us to look at interesting bit. Franklin Bet, the Henry Kosdei, Caleb Kosetang, and Charles Keter. These are just Rift Valley veterans. I think this is the group that then is behind William Ruto's finances to some extent. But then they believe that a Ruto presidency should be an opportunity for them to recycle their hopes. Caleb Kosetang is from a very rich family, by the way. He vied for Uasin Gishu governor seat and lost. Lost in the nomination to Kotimoja, but was a frontliner in William Ruto's campaigns. Such kind of faces are looking for stake. And that's why if you sit down there, you can see the Franklin Bet, former State House operative. Because if Ruto is to win presidency, we've always blamed him that he brought himself very young advisors, but left the real veterans in Rift Valley that would have at least faced him in the eye and tell him, DP, this one, you're wrong. And in fact, if these people were around him, he wouldn't have had that fallout with President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, look at the Western Belt. Musalia Mudavadi, Washiali, Malala, Ababu na Mwamba. Look at this. Mudavadi was vying for presidency. And at one point, he shelved his ambitions in favor of deputy president. He needs a favor back. Ababu na Mwamba, I think, honestly, if someone who made the biggest blunder again is Ababu na Mwamba, was appointed in I think was the CAS in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but will just want to position himself, then decided to cross over to support William Ruto. If Ababu na Mwamba was very strategic, he would have seized the handshake moment between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, mend his ways with Raila Odinga, and go back to Busia even go back to ODM and go and seek that Busia Senate seat. He will get that ticket and will stand a very good chance. He did not seize the handshake moment. And these are the politicians the ones that had gone against Raila Odinga and were on the other side, the best they will do is to seize the handshake to come back, maybe come through Uhuru's back and go and seek that seat. One person that did that perfectly is Raphael Tuju. In Raphael Tuju, if he seeks some, I understand that there are talks for him to be the speaker of CI. I cannot confirm that, but those are the corridor talks. Such a rumor can only have a bearing if there is that reunion. But then this is also the biggest part that is giving Deputy President headache is Uhuru's rebel camp. Moses Kuria, Rigathi Gachagua, Waiguru, Nyoro, Kang'ata. Moses Kuria believes that he was removed from a parliamentary committee because of supporting William Ruto. And he's in record saying this. Rigathi Gachagua says that he's been facing all the corruption allegations because he's supporting William Ruto, Waiguru and that team. This all needs something from William Ruto's kitty. And that's why I can say that the headline was one for the optics as one of the ways to avert the looming rebellion in Kenya Kwanza. And that's my bold analysis.